You can lose 25 pounds almost on autopilot because 43% of your daily actions are habits. And if you start reprogramming yourself now, like all my clients did, in just a month, you can become the person you've been striving to be and start losing fat fast. In this video, I'm not going to tell you the basic things you already know. I'm giving you 5 practical, realistic habits I've learned over the last 10 years that will actually get you ripped in just a matter of months. When I first started trying to lose fat, it was so mentally daunting. It felt like I was entering a prison. Every meal was a mental battle. I was tired, hungry, cranky, and worst of all, I felt like I wasn't allowed to enjoy life. But this first habit is so powerful that it eliminated all those feelings. And it all comes down to being a really good liar. So my ex ridiculously fought with me once for liking another girl's picture. But then a week later, I saw her doing the same thing on Instagram. Honestly, I didn't care, but since she fucked me in the ass for doing it, I pretended to be angry. So I picked a fight with her. You know I have a micro penis. How do you think this makes me feel? But after the fight, despite me being in a good mood and not really caring, I was angry the whole day. Because that story I was telling myself, I ended up believing it. There's so many times in life we lie and then we actually start to believe that life's true. And now when it comes to losing fat, this is actually something that has really helped me and so many more people. Because when I approach losing fat with, I'm cutting weight, I'm gonna be hangry, I tend to feel tired, moody and obsessed with food, even though my body isn't actually struggling yet. But when I was in the best shape of my life, I didn't think of myself as someone on a diet. I acted like I was bulking. I focused on building muscle, getting stronger, and I thought of my food as fueling performance, even though I was in a calorie deficit. It made things 1,000 times easier, and so many studies have proved this to be true. One of them was where researchers gave people the exact 380 calorie milkshake twice. The first time they labeled it as 620 calories, yummy and delicious. But the second time it was labeled as 140 calories, guilt-free, healthy. Same shake, same calories. They measured ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone. Now, the people who thought they were drinking the yummy high-calorie shake, they had a stronger drop in ghrelin, meaning they felt more full and satisfied because they thought it was higher calorie. But when they thought it was a low-calorie diet shake, their body acted so much more differently. They were still hungry after. The way you label things changes how your body reacts to it. It's like my uncle. He kept joking about being gay until he started massaging me while I'm asleep. This simple mindset shift, identifying as someone who's bulking, is a cheat code, my friend. But this habit requires mental reps. You got to keep feeding yourself the same story until your brain starts believing it. So you are no longer on a diet, you're eating fuel. So you live like an animal in the gym. You're not cutting anymore, you're bulking and building lean muscle. The placebo effect is weird, yeah, but it helps you get ripped without feeling miserable. You'd be dumb not to use it. Another thing you'd be dumb not to use is this guide I made you. It breaks down exactly how many calories you should eat, how much protein you need, the best sources to get it from, and it gives you an exact program which I use to transform myself and tons of other people. So if you're trying to lose fat and you're missing even one of these steps, you're just making the whole process so much more harder than it needs to be. So download it and take advantage of it. Now look, I don't know if you can tell by looking at my face, but I've been wanking my whole life, 5 times a day. But I finally stopped choking the chicken and lost 25 pounds after using this next habit because it stopped me from uncontrollably binge eating and finally gave me some control over myself. I was possessed. Now it was really hard for me to stop because I'd be scrolling on Instagram and I see a juicy booty, man. And when I'm at church, that old lady's feet. It wasn't until my brother walked on me twice in the same week I realized, okay, you need to stop wanking. So I avoided every single thing that remotely made me think about doing it. I don't have Instagram anymore. I go to a gym that's full of hairy men. And there's a kissing scene on TV. I cover my eyes. And then what I thought was impossible became possible, man. And this works for everything. During the Vietnam War, nearly 1 in 5 US soldiers got addicted to heroin. But when they returned back home, 90% of them just quit overnight. And they didn't need rehab. They just left the environment which triggered the addiction. So when I started losing those 25 pounds, anything that triggered me, I'd assassinate it. I saw some tempting food on social media. Blocked. I deleted every food delivery app off my phone. And if I saw someone eating KFC, I'd tell myself, this guy's not getting laid. But it's not like I'm getting laid either. I stopped meeting a certain group of friends that I always ate and drank like shit around. If I saw junk around the house, I'd get rid of that as soon as possible and I'd fight with whoever left it there. Because the people you live with can't be doing that out in the open, and you gotta let them know that. With this alone, you're already winning half the mental battle without even trying. But there are these trigger zones where even if nothing is around you, when you're in this situation, you want to do something filthy. This could be at midnight after dinner when everyone's asleep, or your work desk at 3 p.m. Now stop sitting there quietly. You already know when your trigger zones are. Instead of using willpower to get through these trigger zones, these moments we know we always slip in, just play chess, not checkers. Be one step ahead. If you know that you're snacking at midnight, then you need to try to start going to bed earlier. If you know that right after dinner, you want something sweet, then after dinner, you're gonna have fruit ready waiting for you. After a long day of hard work, you want to eat something wonderful because you want to reward yourself. Then make sure throughout that long day, you are constantly eating so you avoid that feeling of exhaustion and built up hunger. By just being one step ahead of your triggers, you'll stop future you from fucking everything present you is working for. But in some cases, you might be a super fat fuck like myself. And despite doing everything, that craving just doesn't die. Now, this next habit has saved me from blowing my diet more times than I can count, especially in my most vulnerable moments, and it's probably responsible for half the fat I lost. Now, Ishi here, our camera girl, come here. When she tells me she wants to go to McDonald's, I can't just say no. All hell on earth is gonna break loose. Especially if she's on her period. I'm dead, man. Right?
Not true.
So instead, what I tell her is, okay, let's go for a 20-minute walk. Or if it's not a walking time, give me 20 minutes and I'll get back to you. Okay, 1 second. And most of the time, after we're done, after that 20 minutes is over, she doesn't even want it anymore.
Yeah. You trick me.
Okay, go back and make sure I'm not ugly anymore. But other times when there's a strong craving, you want something bad, then we either drink a 500 ml bottle of water or protein shake. I literally just used this the other night and I saved myself from a 600 calorie acai bowl. You see, cravings are like drunk texts. You're emotional, you feel like doing it in the moment, I love you. But then if you take a step back, sober down, get some fluids in, you'll be relieved and go like, what the fuck was I thinking? Thank God I didn't do that. So the next time you're really craving something, set a 20-minute stopwatch, not a timer, because a timer will ring and remind you about it. This will give you time to sober down and you'll probably even forget about it. And if you want to kick your appetite in the balls, drink a big glass of water. Better yet, have a protein snack to curb your appetite. This will destroy it, man. And if you want to go the extra mile, brush your teeth after dinner if you need to close those gates permanently like an airport gate. And lastly, I want you to escape the scene that cravings it. Run away from it. Walk it off. If you're on the couch thinking about things, then move to a different part of your house or go out for a walk. If I wanted to get over my ex, would I go to our favorite restaurant alone every day after our breakup? Well, actually, I've been through all these binge fiestas, man. Trust me, this is what saved my hairy ass, man. And if you do give in despite doing all of that, no problem, man. You really wanted it, which is fine. You did your part. Maybe you're gonna smash some junk food anyway, but you took your walk, you burned some calories. You drank your water, had some protein, and now you're a little less hungry. You might still eat, but not nearly as much as you would have before if you didn't do all that. So it's a win-win, man. And sometimes you gotta enjoy life, man. The fuck? Now, if you struggle with food and staying disciplined, this next habit is what pulled me out of the worst binge cycles I've ever been in. I've spoken before about making a big promise or a commitment to someone that you're going to be serious. Now, I swore on the Bible that I would not eat out for a whole month. And what I thought was going to be living hell wasn't. I have so much more energy now from eating real, actual food. I don't know what the hell they were putting in that KFC. And since I made this big ass commitment, it's like I gave myself no other option. Because if I cheat, God will kill me. So automatically all these mental battles, should I eat this? How about that? I should get this now. All these battles, conversation, noise in my head wasn't there anymore. Because I knew there's no way in hell I'm breaking this promise I made. And since I gave myself literally no other option, this was surprisingly easy. Now, I'm not asking you to swear on your partner, your mom, or God, even though that's one of the best things I did to lose fat. I'm asking you to give yourself less options by eating the same meals weekly. I chose the same easy to prep quick meals that I actually liked and could have gone a whole week eating. And that kept me sane. Because if your meals are automated, it's ready and you know what's coming, then that extra element of having to make a decision just goes away. That's one less battle you need to fight. They say we are only as loyal as our options. Now, right now, I'm the most loyal guy to whoever I'm dating. But it's not like there's a line of women waiting outside there dying to sleep with me, so being loyal is easy. But if you make me a millionaire and women are throwing themselves at me, things might change, man. I'm just being honest. So right now, we're trying to lose fat like millionaires with too many options and too many temptations. So we need to diet like broke and ugly people. So we have no choice but to stay disciplined. Steve Jobs famously wore the same outfit every day, a black turtleneck jeans and sneakers. Why? So we can eliminate decision fatigue. Discipline doesn't come from willpower. It comes from eliminating options. The less you need to decide, the easier it gets and the more consistent you'll be. So in every possible way, limit your options when it comes to food. Have a fixed grocery list if you need to. And for the last habit, this one cuts through all the bullshit excuses I had which were holding me back and made sure that I got the job done, and it guarantees that you lose fat fast. Now, a few years ago, I was on a first date. And towards the end of the date, I decided to be romantic. Let's go to the beach, get some milkshake, get some good vibes going. It was going so well, man. I thought, wow, this is it, man. It's happening. Let me call my mom and tell her, Ma, you have a new daughter. But on our way back to the car, she spilled a bit of a milkshake on her hand. So in the car, she was looking for tissue. She opens the glove box and she grabbed the box. What she thought was the tissue box was a box of my fruit cocktail condoms. That was the longest, quietest drive back, and my balls are still blue from then. You see, when it comes to losing fat, being prepared is actually one of the best things you can do, because it destroys the I don't have time excuse if you plan your training session in advance and prepare your gym clothes the previous day. You'd eat out less if you have the best groceries in your fridge of cooked meals already in advance. If you always had a water bottle by your side, you'd end up drinking more water and not feel as hungry when it's time to eat. If you wank before a night out, you're less likely to go out and cheat on your partner. Best of all, you're not gonna come home starving, dead, ready to inhale KFC if you took the time ahead to make a quick 10-minute meal you love, packed it, and stayed fed throughout the day. You want to lose fat and become a new you, but that version will never exist unless today's you does the work for tomorrow's you. Now, aside from getting my steps in protein, lifting weights, these habits were the backbone of what transformed me so quick. So if you set yourself up from today by implementing all these habits, here's what your next 3 weeks could actually look like if you pull through.
Come, I love my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, I love my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. Come, I love my morning light. Everything's gonna be alright. time